The views and opinions expressed by the host do not reflect that of the store and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions expressed by the guest do not reflect that of the host, the show, the store, and the network.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Henry James Alcain and welcome to You in Talk, where we explore the pressing issues shaping our world. Today, we have a thought-provoking topic at the heart of global affairs, the United Nations, a centerpiece of global governance. The United Nations, an international organization founded in 1945, has played a pivotal role in promoting peace, security, and cooperation among nations. Join us as we delve into the significance, challenges, and potential of the United Nations in shaping our shared future. As we navigate an increasingly interconnected world, the United Nations serves as a critical platform for dialogue, negotiation, and collaboration. Its mission to maintain international peace and security, promote sustainable development, protect human rights, and foster social progress resonates across borders. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from esteemed experts who will shed light on the multifaceted aspects of the United Nations and its impact on global governance. Throughout our conversation, we will explore the United Nations' role in addressing global challenges, its efforts in conflict resolution and peacekeeping, and the importance of multilateralism in today's complex world. We will also discuss the need for reforms within the United Nations to ensure its continued relevance and effectiveness in a rapidly changing global landscape. Our distinguished guests for today will bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to this discussion. They will share their insights, perspectives, and recommendations on how the United Nations can navigate the complexities of the 21st century and continue to serve as a cornerstone of global governance. So, without further ado, let's dive into the engaging conversation about the United Nations, a centerpiece of global governance. Join me in welcoming our esteemed guests and let's embark on this enlightening journey together when we come back.
Can the United Nations stop a war? To understand how the UN responds to conflict, we need to go back to the UN Charter, adopted after the Second World War. It created the Security Council, which has 15 members. 5 of those members never changed: China, France, the Russian Federation, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The Security Council adopts resolutions. With the substantive resolution, any of the 5 permanent members can block it. That's called the veto power. When there's a veto, the issue goes to the General Assembly, where there's a seat for all members of the United Nations. The General Assembly can make recommendations on collective measures for peace, but unlike the Security Council, its resolutions are not binding. The United Nations is headed by its Secretary General, who has what's been called the most impossible job on earth. It includes trying to get peace talks going, save lives, and stop war. In the timeless words of the second Secretary General, Dag Hammarskjöld, the United Nations was not created to take mankind to heaven, but to save humanity from hell.
Welcome back to You in Talk. Joining us, our esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our guest for today. Our first guest is a political analyst, graduated at San Francisco Colleges with a course of Bachelor of Arts, major in Political Science. She is Miss Rhea Atiga. And our second guest for today is a lawyer, graduated at Mindanao State University, Marawi Campus. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fernando Jose Polancos. And our third guest is a historian, graduated at Caraga State University, and she is Miss Veronica Osico. Let's start by discussing the significance of the United Nations in global governance. Ms. Rhea Atiga, could you please share your thoughts on why the United Nations is considered as a centerpiece of global governance.
Thank you, Henry. The United Nations hold a unique position in global governance due to its universal membership and broad mandate. It serves as a platform for member states to come together, discuss, and negotiate on a wide range of issues, including peace and security, human rights, development, and climate change. Through its specialized agencies, programs, and initiatives, the UN plays a vital role in coordinating international efforts and promoting collaborations among nations.
Thank you, Ms. Shane. According to the text I read before, that the UN is a peace-loving state. How beautiful the line of the UN, right? So that's a significant point. How about Mr. Polancos? From your perspective, why are some key examples of the United Nations' impact on global governance?
Absolutely. The United Nations has made notable contributions in various areas of global governance. For instance, the UN's peacekeeping operations have played a crucial role in resolving conflicts and maintaining stability in different regions around the world. Additionally, the UN Sustainable Development Goals provide a comprehensive framework for addressing social, economic, and environmental challenges globally. The UN's agencies such as UNICEF and WHO have also made significant progress in promoting human rights, healthcare, and education worldwide.
Thank you, Mr. Polancos. It is truly that the UN is not all about peacekeeping, it's not all about security, but also they talk about the environmental protection, the economy that helps us improve our world today. So, one of our guests today is Ms. Veronica Osico. The United Nations indeed has a broad and far-reaching impact on global governance. Now, let's discuss some of the challenges that UN faces in fulfilling its role. Ms. Osico, what are some of the main challenges that the United Nations encounters today?
Thank you, Henry. One of the key challenges is the need for ongoing reforms within the UN to ensure its effectiveness and adaptability to the evolving global landscape. The Security Council, for example, has been a topic of discussion with calls of the expansion to better reflect the realities of the 21st century. Additionally, funding contents and the geopolitical tensions can sometimes hinder the UN's ability to respond effectively to global crises.
Yes, I agree with you, Ms. Osico, because as we have seen in the news that some political problems today affect the performance of the UN. That's why sometimes the UN's help to the certain countries that need helps will become delayed because of that political issues that resulting war, the resulting poverty, regarding the some issues of the certain countries are facing today. So thank you for highlighting these challenges, Ms. Osico and Ms. Atiga. What are your thoughts on how the United Nations can overcome these challenges and maximize its potential as a centerpiece of global governance?
You know what, Henry? It's crucial for member states to reaffirm their commitment to multilateralism and strengthen collaboration within the UN system. Reform should be pursued to enhance the representation and exclusivity of the Security Council and the decision-making bodies. Adequate and predictable funding is also essential to support the UN's operations and initiatives. Moreover, fostering dialogue and cooperation among member states is key to overcoming geopolitical tensions and advancing global governance.
It's nice to know that, Ms. Atiga, that the UN is as far as I know, that there will be a General Assembly, also known as the debate arena, in which the UN members can discuss the certain issues arising in the globe right now. No, the General Assembly performed their job very well, so that some issues arising today will resolve. Yes. Okay. It's crucial for members right now. Thank you. More discussions and questions to be answered by our guests when we come back.
Climbing that mountain, getting to the top. I'm taking my time, but I ain't gonna stop singing. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. The tide is getting high, but I ain't gonna drown. I float right to the top if you try to hold me down, singing. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. You can push me down, but I get up again. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. I ain't gonna stop, ain't gonna stop, I ain't gonna stop, ain't gonna stop.
Welcome back to You in Talk. We have received a question from one of our viewers and I'd like to pose it to our esteemed guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is, how does the United Nations promote global cooperation and address conflicts among member states? Let me ask this question to Mr. Pulancos. Would you like to take a stab at answering this question?
Absolutely, Mr. Henry. The United Nations plays a critical role in promoting global cooperation and addressing conflicts among member states. One of the primary ways it does this is through diplomacy and peaceful negotiations. The UN provides a platform for member states to come together, discuss their differences, and seek common ground. The General Assembly, Security Council, and other UN bodies facilitate dialogue and help resolve conflicts through diplomacy, mediation, and peacekeeping operations.
And for the information of everyone, we are live at the International TV. So remember, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss on the show, feel free to send them in. We value your input and want to ensure that we address the issue that matters to you. It's clear that the United Nations faces significant challenges, but there are opportunities for progress and improvement. As we wrap up this discussion, what final thoughts or recommendations do each of you have regarding the United Nations as a centerpiece of global governance? So, let me call on Mr. Pulancos.
Absolutely, Mr. Henry. I would add that engaging civil society, youth, and other actors in the UN's work is crucial. Their participation can bring fresh perspectives, innovative ideas, and a sense of ownership to the global governance process.
Yes, thank you for that, Mr. Pulancos. And how about you, Ms. Shane? What can you say about the United Nations plays an important role in global centerpiece of global governance?
For me, I believe that the United Nations remain an indispensable institution in today's world. It is essential for member states to strengthen their commitment to multilateralism, invest in the UN capacity, and work together to address global challenges effectively.
Yes, it is really because I remember last night I read the book of International Organization. It is said there, Ms. Shane, that even though the non-member states of the United Nations should perform in accordance with the UN Charter to avoid some conflicts to be arise in our globe right now. So, thank you both for sharing your valuable insights and recommendations. It's clear that the United Nations plays a vital role as a centerpiece of global governance, and there are opportunities for improvement and collaboration. Welcome back to UN Talk. Still with our very own guest, Ms. Shane Natiga, thank you for coming here. And so Mr. Pulancos, thank you for coming here. And to Ms. Osiko, thank you also. Once again, thank you all for joining us today on this enlightening talk show about the United Nations as centerpiece of global governance. Moving forward, it is essential for all stakeholders, including government, civil society, and individuals to actively engage in the UN's work. By fostering dialogue, collaboration, and inclusivity, we can collectively address global challenges and shape more peaceful, equitable, and sustainable world. We encourage you, our audience, to continue learning about the United Nations and its role in global governance. Stay informed, participate in discussions, and support initiatives that promote the values and principles of the United Nations. Remember, the future of global governance lies in our collective efforts. On behalf of our team, I want to express our gratitude to Mr. Pulancos, Ms. Atiga, and Ms. Osiko for their valuable contributions to this discussion. And thank you to our audience for joining us today and being part of this important conversation. Let us carry the spirit of collaboration and cooperation that the United Nations represents into our daily lives. Together, we can work towards a more peaceful, inclusive, and sustainable world. Thank you, and I am Henry James Alcain, and this is UN Talk.
What is it?